Button. Good morning. Good morning and welcome back to Your Future Hand. My name is Julian. It is January 30th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are 1 minute late today. 1 minute late today. News, Visa and cryptocurrency. Oh, we should have saw this coming. Visa partnering with the Web3 firm Transact for crypto transactions, okay? Bitcoin beat out Visa and MasterCard for transactions last year, so of course they would want in on the action, right? Otherwise, they're losing wallet share. It's just the way it is. They have to go the way the masses have deviated and decided to go. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Something we've been telling you for some time. So that's new and interesting news this morning. BlackRock has now accumulated 53,000 Bitcoin. Okay. The Bitcoin ETFs combined have consumed 3% of the Bitcoin. Michael Saylor himself owns 1% of Bitcoin. I just clicked on something I didn't want to see. Probably. Yeah. Market cap of crypto over. I think that's a new high for 2024. And this is with Bitcoin losing a bit of dominance. So where'd the money go? But in the last 7 days, Bitcoin is up 10%. 10.5%. So a lot of the money has gone to Bitcoin. But where else has it gone? What else do we got? 25% this week on Solana. And that's just back to 104. So even a few weeks ago, I said when they pumped up over $120 or whatever it was there, I said it's going to look a lot better back down around $70. Sure enough, it went down there. A bunch of people got wrecked too. Solana, that's why I wasn't really playing in Solana again this year. I should have. You know, if you were buying it down at $10, $8, $14, ooh, man, that was like one of the easiest 10x's in crypto for people who kept buying. Polkadot, we got some Polkadot. Polkadot's back up 12%. So, I mean, the market's green. The money's going everywhere. And right now, I believe people are investing in alts because Bitcoin just did 160% run. So the reality is that people think that Bitcoin is not going to be as dramatic of gains as anything else in the market. And with ETFs being launched and the secure value that they offer to people with a lot of money, like I honestly feel like there's going to be some people with millions of dollars in Bitcoin, maybe even billions of dollars in Bitcoin, that might actually want to go from self-custody to the ETF. And I know there's one story of that already. Somebody's been holding since 2013, and they're deciding to go with the ETF. And that's just insurance. That's value insurance, right? So I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. You know what I mean? Just like, who cares what people do? It's like with their lives, with their money, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. Bitcoin doesn't care for your opinion, and you shouldn't care what other people do with their Bitcoin or whatever. It's just, it doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter. Market green all around. Big pumps. Arbitrum, 20%. Yeah, everything's 10 to 20%. Render, gaming coin. Here's crypto. Here's a perfect example of crypto gaming going to crush this year. 26% in the last 7 days here on Render. Aave. I had a little scoop of Aave, but I put it into DOT, which has done better. So I'm okay with that. Mina Protocol, it's almost 20%. It's another good one. Sandbox. I actually let go of my Sandbox too because and it's really not moving. It's another gaming. Yeah, green market all around. I think I've avoided the chart actually, which is probably what people want to hear and see in here. So hopefully you got through all that nonsense with me over the last 5 minutes. Bitcoin coming into the FOMC meeting. We knew this sucker was going to bounce. We were calm, collected, and we took the trade. We stacked the long. We feel good about it. We feel real good about it, actually. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, we didn't get shooken out. What's the proper way to say that? Shaken or shooken? Out. Anyway, yeah, the 61.8% fib here, $38,500. Bing. Hit it perfectly in the apex of a 5 and a 10-year long trend line. Or so I would tell you was a 10 and a 5-year trend line, because that's just my perspective, and that's all I'm sharing with you here on Your Future Hand. But if you had been dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, even from the $69,000 top, you would be in juicy and healthy profits right now. So again, this is the weekly. I told you I was waiting for the weekly close, and this was the weekly close here. It was a massive bounce in the last couple of days, and over the full moon, funnily, interestingly enough, I find anyway, Fibonacci's and the moon cycles. Very interesting that these things have lined up to me for some reason, because they say that billionaires chart the stars. Right? Chart the stars. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Am I crazy? Could be crazy. It could probably be crazy. Definitely crazy. But this, this doesn't really tell you anything. Weekly RSI back up at 70%. Again, like I said, this is exactly what the daily did, and the 4 hour before it, et cetera. So, a good chance this thing runs again, and it can come to a new high with the strength between 70 and 80% without having to exceed this peak at 83%. So, a run back to 50K, could just exceed these highs here. And that'd be pretty interesting to see. It'd be great to see. But let's get this other fib back out on this sucker and see what's happening. And here you can see perfectly, we found the resistance just under the 38.2% fib. And this week I guess we went through it first. A little fake out there. And I mean, these are on the wicks too, so a lot of volatility beyond these. But they give us a good idea of the levels of resistance that we might find along the way. And sure enough, they were. So 38.2 acted that as first resistance. And now we are battling with the 50% fib, which is $43,500. Current price is actually $43,587 with a little pump this morning. Why? We got the FOMC meeting coming tomorrow. People love speculation. We know this. They love to buy things in speculation of an event coming and then react to whatever that is. This was the ETF. So yeah, a bunch of people bought in speculation of and knew that it was going to be approved, essentially. So who cares? This to me, again, was not a buy the rumor, sell the news event. It was a buy the rumor, buy the news, because the breakout was back here. We knew that when we got above the 61.8% fib and left the first apex of these 5 and 10 year trend lines. Okay, $37,500. Boom, right? We flipped 38.5 into support from that move. Beautiful, right? So that was actually the first fib that we played, was here, right? And it's still, actually, I should just put that one back on, because it was a really tell fib that we traded through December and the beginning of January, right? And it's still working out. So I mean, we went a little bit through it there, but for the longer term, for the bear trend of 2022, which is the yellow line. So we got the 78.6% fib here from 2022 bear trend, and the 61.8% fib here. So, I mean, yeah, these things are a good tell. The resistance on this is the high that we just hit, which is $43,800 approximately, and that actually makes more sense. So I should have just left this fib on that we had back in December until this move played out. But I switched it. But I think I like the way it looks in there. We're just going to leave that. We're going to leave that because it's playing it pretty well. You can see. So, I don't know. That's about it. I mean, the market, again, the same. So the FOMC meeting coming tomorrow. Canada paused rates. A lot of distraction happening in Canada right now. We have our election year as well, and a lot of mumbo jumbo in the news. But the most important thing is whatever they're going to be doing with the economy this year, and that has solely to do with our labor numbers and our interest rates, our debt interest rates. So I believe that the Fed in the United States will probably pause rates today. The decision will come tomorrow, but we'll have some volatility, I believe, before that decision happens. We're going to try and flush some leverage out here. This is why we jumped in way down here when everyone was scared about this thing breaking down. So we're in from a real nice spot, but I expect some choppy seas. I expect some volatility. Oh, I think my finger's actually on over there. Yeah, I expect volatility to come over the next couple of days here. I mean, 10% in the last 7 days. So, I mean, we've already had volatility back to the upside. But again, we're still trading in the exact range that we have been for weeks, right? 2 months now. So as much as people think there's all kinds of stuff going on and a lot of price movement, there's not. It's dead flat. It's actually been dead flat for years when you think about it, because we're playing against players with a lot more money than us, right? Which is why I've been able to slow down my trades and stomach the volatility a little more, because these other guys, you can see as I continue to zoom out, they have a trend line too, right? They have a trend they're playing too. It's just a lot longer than most of our perspectives. So keep that in mind. Zoom out to get an idea what's going on. So this is on the monthly chart, same fibs. And if we look at it on the monthly, we're stuck there. So a good chance that we actually see a couple of these spinning tops again, right? On the monthly chart, a few spinning tops, because we got the halving coming in April, May, whenever it lands. It was May 11th, the last one landed, I believe. So somewhere between April and June, the halving will land, depending on how the blocks are mined. And this is going to be one of the hugest supply shocks that we see in an asset class that has grown this fast. So it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be wild. You don't want to miss it. You don't, even if it goes down 10, 20, 30% when you're in, it's not going to matter in the long run. So quit being afraid, because even if you had started buying here and your dollar cost averaged in all the way, you're in really nice profits. So the idea is to accumulate, and don't worry about spending it. Don't worry about selling it. right now because, that's how you don't pay tax on it. So dollar cost average, what you can afford to store for the future, 5-10 years down the road when they have figured out how to make better use of this stuff, make it a little more secure for everybody. Rambling. I'm having a quiet morning today. Quiet morning. But I think that about wraps it up. Tomorrow is the monthly close as well as the FOMC decision. I expect it to play likely this entire range between the 78.6 and the 100% level of this move. This is on the monthly chart. If we go to the weekly, you can see that that's what I'm considering the breakout move and where I'm running these fibs from. Well, I just buckered something. I moved that line. I've done that a million times. I'm going to delete that line. It is important, but Anyway, so here on the weekly, this is what I've considered the breakout. Came right in that apex of the 10-year resistance line that I have drawn here. It goes all the way back to the 2012, 2013 bull run. This red perforated line. This orange line is to the 2017, 2018 bull run high. So that apex mixed with the 61.8% fib of the 2022 bear trend, right? So pretty significant apex right here, in my opinion. And that was the breakout. Now we have the retest, and we've held it as support. So right now, that's our first test as support off of a major breakout line, and we've been here for now 2 months, right? So anything in between, I really think everyone is just speculating and fighting for conversation. So don't be afraid. We weren't. We took the long. We're in it, and hopefully we should make a trip all the way back to the 78.6% fib again to this high. Unless the bears come in and Jerome Powell comes in tomorrow and says, we didn't get inflation where we needed to. We have to do just one more rate hike, which would be bearish for this, and send it back down. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for January 29th. We will catch you tomorrow on the monthly close, as well as the Federal Reserve's interest information, CPI, jobs numbers, that sort of jazz. We will keep you updated. Hang in there, and I will catch you in the next one. I gotta run that, I guess.